Which English scientist invented the steam turbine, used to drive boats, ships, power generator, etc.? Charles Parson. Who was a former general manager of system division at Motorola, considered the inventor of first modern portable hand phone? Dr. Martin Cooper. Who was a heavyweight boxer, a lawyer, and the space telescope mounted on a satellite that orbits the Earth is also named after him? Edwin Powell Hubble. What invention was first installed at a Hartford, Connecticut bank in 1889? Pay telephone. Who synthesized the first wholly artificial gene? Hargobind Khorana. Who was the first person to detect radio waves? Heinrich Hertz. Who discovered the X-ray, unknown ray, from his cathode ray generator in 1895? W.C. Roentgen. Who among the following invented the smallpox vaccine? Edward Jenner. Who was not in a team of scientists, but awarded Nobel Prize in Physics for the invention of transistor? Hippolyte Pixii. Who initiated the Indian space projects, also known as the father of Indian space research? Vikram Sarabhai. In which decade was the ARRL founded? 1910s. Who was a British physicist who discovered electron in 1897? J.J. Thomson. Name the German physician, chemist, and medical translator who developed the homeopathic system of medicine. Dr. Samuel Hahnemann. What George Westinghouse invented? Railway air brakes. What piece of clothing was invented by French fashion designer Louis Réard in 1946? Bikini. Who is now credited with having invented the modern radio in 1943? Nikola Tesla. The fact or process of finding something already in existence for the first time is discovery. What Elmer A. Sperry invented? Gyro compass. Who invented fountain pen? Louis E. Waterman. Who invented internal combustion engine? Otto. Who was the first to observe the gravitational pull of the Earth, wrote a book called Principia, and the first scientist to be knighted Sir? Isaac Newton. Which lift, elevators, manufacturing company is named after its inventor? Otis. Who was a Detroit policeman to invent an overhanging electric traffic light system with red, green, and yellow colors in 1920? William Potts. Who invented automobiles using gasoline? Carl Benz. Which space agency sends 104 satellites in a single mission in 2017? ISRO. In which decade was the first solid-state integrated circuit demonstrated? 1950s. What Frank Whittle invented? Jet propulsion. Who was the Russian first to build the helicopter Vs-300 in 1940 and later the military helicopter XR-4? Igor Sikorsky. The first hand glider was designed by Leonardo da Vinci. Who invented the FM radio? Edwin Howard Armstrong. Who was the inventor of paper in 105A.D. Tzai Lu. Which Austrian doctor discovered the hypnosis, and also the other name of hypnosis, which was named after him? Franz A. Mesmer. Who made the first atom bomb in the world? Otto Hahn. What item, originally called the whirlwind, was invented by Ives McGaffey in 1869? Vacuum cleaner. Which Swedish industrialist and civil engineer invented the dynamite in 1863 for blasting construction sites and mining? Alfred Nobel. Who invented the sticking plaster band-aid one for his accident-prone wife Josephine in 1924? Earl Dixon. Who was the first to start the Industrial Research Laboratory? Thomas Alva Edison. Who invented the art of printing with movable type in the 15th century? Johannes Gutenberg. What groovy item was invented by Englishman Edward Craven Walker in 1963? Lava lamp. Who discovered the interplanetary traffic laws, that planet orbits the Sun in an elliptical orbit along with two other laws? Johannes Kepler. In which of the following states Rawatbhata Nuclear Plant is situated? Rajasthan. Who was an American scientist widely recognized as the inventor of electronic television in 1927? Philo Farnsworth. Who is known as the father of periodic table of elements? Mendeleev. What Benjamin Franklin invented? Bifocal spectacles. Who developed the idea of crop rotation? Turnip Townsend. Who was the only person to win Nobel Prize twice for physics in 1956 and 1972? John Bardeen. Which scientist discovered the radioactive element radium? Marie Curie. Who was an Englishman discovered one of the gases in air, oxygen, in the 18th century? Joseph Priestley. Who invented the logarithmic table? John Napier. When was the first elevator built? 1743. Name the South African heart surgeon, the first to do heart transplantation in human. Christian Barnard. Which Germans designed an Ike engine that burned petrol in 1885, currently used to fly planes, boats, cars, and other devices? Gottlieb Daimler and Carl Benz. Who created the first man-made plastic and demonstrated in 1862 exhibition in London? Alexander Perkins. What did King Camp Gillette invent? Safety razor. What is the device invented by William Great Batch is a boon for heart patients? Pacemaker. Who successfully demonstrated the light bulb in 1879, patented by Henry Woodward and Mathew Evans in 1875? Thomas Alva Edison. Who was the inventor of modern computer? Charles Babbage. Which popular soft drink was invented by Caleb D. Bridgham? Pepsi. Who invented the theory of evolution and coined the phrase survival of the fittest? Charles Darwin. Telephone was invented by Alexander Graham Bell. Who discovered the artificial radioactivity? Joliot Curie. Frozen food who discovered the first practical method of freezing food? C. Birdseye. What toy was invented by Joshua Lionel Cowen around 1900? Electric train. What inspired reflecting road lights to be invented? The light a cat's eyes gave off on a fence. Who was an insurance salesperson patented the first fountain pen in 1884? Louis Waterman. Which Indian mathematician invented the digit 0 and the first to calculate the value of pi, 71, 20 to 7? Aryabhatta. When was the toothbrush invented? 1770. Who was the French chemist developed and patented the process used to make pencils in 1975 using mixture of clay graphite? Nicolas Conte. Which of the following was India's first mapping satellite? Cartosat 1. Which scientist is the greatest of all time, having over 1,000 patents to his credit? Thomas Alva Edison. Which American, known as father of the space age, invented and launched the world's first liquid-fueled rocket? Robert H. Goddard. Who invented the spinning jenny? James Hargreaves. Which English surgeon pioneered the use of sterilization in operation theatres in 1870? Joseph Lister. Who was a Moravian, Czech, monk founded the modern science of genetics through his experiments, who was also known as father of genetics? Johann Gregor Mendel. Who patented the safety matches in 1855? Johann E. Lundstrom. What is the way of making or doing something which saves time and effort, makes life easier, and improves safety standards known as invention. Who is known as the father of electrochemistry, who also discovered the element potassium, K. Sir Humphrey Davy. Who invented the modern electronic pocket calculator? Jack Kilby. Who invented the aeroplane cockpit's ground proximity warning system, GPWS, or ground prox? Don Bateman. Who was the English astronomer first to discover the orbits of comets, and a comet is named after him? Edmund Halley. What drink was invented by Charles Leiper Grigg in 1929? 7 Up. When was the Raggedy Ann doll patented? 1915. Who invented the computer's mouse? Douglas Engelbart. Which English scientist discovered the vaccine for smallpox? Edward Jenner. What Thomas Davenport invented? Electric streetcar. Who was the inventor of turbojet engine for a jet aircraft in 1930? Both of above. Who was the bacteriologist at a London hospital discovered penicillin, an antibacterial agent, in 1928? Alexander Fleming. What invention by Garnet Carter made its debut at the Fairyland Inn Resort in Lookout Mountain, Tennessee, in 1927? Miniature golf. In which year was MIDI introduced? 1983. Who is the only US president to invent and patent something? Abraham Lincoln. Who was a Dutch scientist known as father of the microscope, made many discoveries with the microscope? Leeuwenhoek. Who invented the first mechanical voting machine in 1892? Jacob C. Amias. When was barbed wire patented? 1874. Which Nobel Laureate can be called the founder of the field of atomic physics? Ernest Rutherford. In which decade was the Internet first implemented? 1960s. Who perfected genetic engineering? Cohen and Boyer. Who was the first person to set up a printing press at Westminster, London in 1476? William Caxton. What office item was invented by Bette Nesmith Graham in 1951? Liquid paper. Who discovered the so-called ninth planet in the solar system Pluto in 1930? Clyde Tombaugh. This English inventor is known as the father of computing. Charles Babbage.
Please like and subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon to get video updates.